we get in the program, Holly, it's time for this week's Joke of the Week.
Did you know a friend perfected their garden flower beds? Did you want to know how?
How did they do that?
Through the process of trial and error.
There you go.
Ba-dum-bum. This week's garden joke is brought to you by Rescue.com, American-made rescue. Products keep your family, home, and yard protected from pest insects like wasps, hornets, yellow jackets, flies, ants, and more. Learn more at Rescue.com. That's RESCUE.com. So
we are in prime time in some places, but for most of us, in a few weeks, we'll be having the opportunity to visit our local independent garden center. If you choose to go to the big box store, that is also acceptable. We encourage you to support the small businesses. But there's what to buy, what not to buy at the garden center. And we'll start this off by saying there's a lot of great plants at a garden center in which you can buy. However, the variety and the quantity of the type of variety is limited because they can't have 100 different types of tomatoes or 85 different types of peppers. There, maybe 10 varieties, 8 varieties. That type of numbers is what they're going to have versus if you was to buy them from jungseed.com or Totally Tomatoes. There is a limited amount that you can buy. So, some very easy ones, what to buy when you go to your garden center.
Yeah, so tomatoes, peppers, things like that. Those are definitely always a good choice at the garden center. Any sort of native flowers or grasses that are natural to your area. Onion starts, leeks, those are good. Back to tomatoes real quick. You just want to, and any start, peppers too. You don't want to buy ones that have the fruit on them. And it might not be starch. You might see this miniature pepper or tomato plant, and it's going to have the fruit on it. And it's, you're buying this in May. And you are in a growing zone that you shouldn't have tomatoes till August. That's bad.
Berry plants. You can buy berry plants of a variety of different sizes. Also, you can get rooted plants such as asparagus crowns, 1 or 2 year asparagus crowns to assist in your sooner to harvest period for those, as they take quite a long time. Now, the easy aspect of this is the things you should buy. Let's go over the things in which you shouldn't buy at the garden center. One being any type of a root crop, meaning radishes or carrots. Those are things in which they do sell, and they will die whenever you try to transplant them. They do this. We spoke about it last week. We spoke about it many times over the years. They do this because it's a moneymaker. They're going to sell the plant because it looks convenient that, they've already started the carrot seeds or the radish seeds. Don't buy them. Same
thing with cucumbers.
Squashes, very sensitive in the transplant aspect. And if you direct sow both of those in about a 4-week period, the plants are the same because of the shock that the transplant is occurring if it does make it past that shock versus the direct sow.
And as I had mentioned before, plants that have fruit on them, tall and lanky plants. So if you're this plant looks really great because it's really tall, but it's thin and kind of spindly looking, you don't want that.
That is called, they're stretching for sunlight. That's called legginess. That's not good. Don't buy these plants. Only buy these plants if they're giving them away free at the end of the day, because you're not going to baby these in order to turn them into a state fair record producing plant, pepper or tomato or whatever. It's just not. They're already stressed. They've already got a 2 strikes against them type of outlook.
And then plants that have any webbing or bugs under the leaves. I mean, if it's a bug like a bee or a regular pollinator that just.
But if you've got white flies or you've got aphids, and here's the thing. It's okay. You are purchasing these plants, whether you're paying $1 or $15. It's just like when you go to your favorite apparel store. You go and you're not going to buy a jersey for $89 without probably trying it on to make sure it's the right size of your favorite athletic player. So you're going to look at these plants, examine them under the leaves, pull them out of the container gently. You can do that. See what the roots look like. You're going to probably have root-bound plants. That's going to be a given.
Yeah.
But what does the color of the roots look like? Are they vibrant white? Are they muggy?
Like gray and rotten.
Rotten? Yeah. Is there a smell to those roots?
If it smells like rot, you can smell rot. It's not. It smells, like
examine it.
Trash, basically.
Yeah. You're paying for this. You can do this. This is perfectly fine to examine these plants. Sometimes these plants are quite costly and are an investment. So you want to make sure that you have the best plant. And now, if you're at a true, authentic, genuine, they appreciate you as a customer, independent garden center, and you find a plant that is got bugs on it, or have webbing on it, or just what we talked about, rotten roots, you can take it to the staff and go, hey, I was going to buy this, but it's not a healthy plant. You might want to...
Yeah, they'll tear it out. They'll, get rid of it.
And they may even look at the other ones in there because there might be something going on with the rest of that particular variety.
So I beg to differ. You put just because it looks nice not to buy it, and I have bought plants that look nice. So
and we've struggled to figure out where to put them.
Listen, that's not the point. The point we figured out a spot. Though.
I know, but going into a garden center, you want to have a plan. Here's what I want. Here's what I need. Okay, I need 5 rosemary plants, 6 basil plants, 15 tomato plants. I mean, it does get costly. That's why we encourage, if you can, to start your own. But some people want to do it this way, but you want to know that you have enough space.
I guess for me, it's like, if you know that you have space and you are like, I was going to get XYZ and I probably have enough space and I do like this plant and I'm going to spend a little bit, take a chance and buy this plant because it's going to bring me some joy to try something new or have a new pretty plant. I think it's worth it, but if you don't have room in your budget, room in your garden,
and you may be the individual where joy is short-lived because the plant dies.
That's a chance I'm willing to take.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another thing you don't buy at the garden center: buy 3 and get 1 free.
Why is that bad?
Because you.
What if you need 4 plants?
That's different. But if you're just going in, you're buying these. Oh, look at that! I don't know what that is, but I can buy 3 and get 1 free. I'll figure out somewhere to put it. That doesn't do you any good. It's like people buying stuff on sale that they don't need and don't have a purpose for, but they buy it because, hey, I saved $3. Now I got to give it to somebody because I have no use for it. Or I already have 4 at home and I didn't remember that.
Right. So buy 3, get 1 free. Maybe somebody gave you a gift card, or you have somebody, like the... I don't know, your aunt.
You feel obligated.
Yeah, you feel obligated. Your aunt gave you a gift card. Oh, you mentioned starting a garden. I'm going to give you this gift card or some coupon or something.
Coupons are only best not used because then you save all the money.
Okay, I like a coupon. If I'm
coupon,
going to utilize
right.
it, yeah. But I'm not going to just go to use a coupon. Like this past weekend, I was at the pet store and I had a coupon for 10% off, and I got there and we're having a neighbor sale or something, and everything was 20% off, which was even better.
But there was things in which you needed.
Yeah.
You weren't just going to buy stuff because it was 20% off. There are people that do that, and that's how, 1, they get in financial situations that they're not happy with.
I did buy an extra cat dish.
And 2, you're buying things and you become... we end up seeing you on, what is it, the History Channel or whatever, the Hoarders Buried Alive. We ended up, that type of thing.
Right. And I
got to control.
I technically needed the cat dish.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Yes. So anyway,
but don't the gift card. Most gift cards are there's no time limit on them.
No, so you could definitely even just go back for like a house plant at some point,
or a couple of seeds. You don't have to go buy a bunch of stuff that you really don't need because you feel like you owe it to Aunt Janice because she put $50 on this gift card.
Right.
So we're kind of
be conscientious and think about
And we're not knocking you because we've all done this, but we want you to be aware of things that you may not think about. Right. Things not to buy. Oh, not that plant, but these other things as well.
I absolutely agree. You have to make a smart choice and make sure that you are spending your money wisely. And also, I don't think there's a shortage of seed starts, but don't take more than you need for anything. You can always go back and hopefully get some if you do need more.
Right.
So speaking of that, needing more, we're brought to you today by our sponsor, Walton's Inc. We care about where your food comes from, canning, preserving your fruits and vegetables. But what about the meat? At Walton's Inc., you can get all the equipment, seasoning, and supplies to make sausage, jerky, and any other meat product your way to your high standards. Do you want to make snack sticks that people will actually like? Walton's created meatgistics.com, an informational site to help you make the best finished product. You can go from animal to edible. They have their full line of meat grinders, mixers, sausage stuffers to help you go from animal to edible. Walton's everything but the meat. Use code GROW50, GROW50, save 10% off your orders of $50 or more, and that's at waltonsinc.com.